Well, Aaron Macy, we're here for the Monday kick-on, mate. Where'd you just come from?
Courthouse.
The courthouse. Is that why you got the sunnies on? Hey, with the kick-on, you definitely need a pair of sunnies, right?
Definitely need the sunnies.
So that's why we're kicking off with these sunnies. Oh, I've just come from T2.
Does that bring back some memories from back in the day?
Yeah, not good memories. Not great memories, but yeah, it was fun back in the day. You know, the kids these days, they don't kick on, I don't believe.
I was actually, you know what's funny? I read a stat and I was reading an article yesterday. It's like 850 billion has been taken out of like the club and bar scene as the new generation no longer drink.
Well, you know, with the lockout laws, I think Sydney's nightlife just went to shit, right? You know, and it's starting to come back. So you'll see more people walking around with a pair of sunnies on at 7 in the morning with no sun out.
And then you got the new tribe got the shirt off with Reece and Sean all through summer at 5 in the morning.
Oh God,
the great man, mate.
Loves
Actually, this feels funny. This was the original.
This is where it all started, as you and I.
It did.
Well, we had Darcy back in the day.
We did have Darcy.
Darcy back in the day, Renee Gartz, but. You know, it's good to get more content out there, you know, brought to the audience by Unibet, and we thought, why not? Let's just have more
Look, it's something we've been talking about. I know a lot of people, everyone loves the show, obviously you, Brace, myself. But I think one thing that I think you and I used to break down probably a bit more footy.
Yeah.
And this gives us more time to sit down, talk through. We're going to go through comments. So for all you football heads that just love footy, a bit of a play on with the kick on, but it's Monday kicking on, more footy. Everyone wants that extra footy talk, and that's what we've got it here for.
Yeah.
I want to extract your brain as much as possible. And I think Friendy was on during the week, last week, and he said he's keen to come and join this show when he can as well.
Yeah, awesome. You know, and we don't want to be like, I've always said this to you as like, there's enough shows out there that really dive into every single game of the round, and it's not what we're about. It's more about breaking down scenarios, were there howlers, good plays, stuff like that. Breaking down sequences is probably my strong point when it comes to watching footy. So
the good old halfback trapped in a back row's body.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. My IQ was higher than my ability, basically. So, mate, you had a bit of a good weekend too with the racing.
Yes, and the thing that I do specialise in,
is kick-ons and racing.
Kick-ons and racing. I just recently moved. I moved to a new place. I've got a good little home office now. I had a bit of a break, a bit like you've been a professional athlete for a long time. I've bet professionally on and off for a very long time. Yep. And one thing you can do is become a little bit stale. And obviously running this business, growing this business, working on the app that we've got coming.
Got some big things coming, right?
Huge things. Yeah. And the app has taken a lot of my focus, a lot of my energy, was draining me a lot as well. But now with it coming out, a big part of what we're going to be doing is late mail. I'll be doing a lot of, not always daily, but a lot of the days throughout the week we'll be doing some tipping and things like that. But yeah, first day back of doing proper form, I think I tipped 10 winners. So
10?
Yeah, 10 winners in the chat. It was, when everything goes right, it was just one of those, you look left, short ball, it just works. It was one of those days. One of those days. Hopefully we can keep going.
Yeah, awesome, mate. Well, today we'll dive into a little bit of a preview with our Game 3 coming up. It's a huge week. I can't wait. I'm excited. I'm very optimistic.
I'm hoping Laurie's got like that international experience now from coaching the Socceroos.
What do you mean? With our bloody
what was the
penalty shootout?
The penalty shootout. Our best player, informed goalie, hasn't put a hand wrong, a foot wrong, couldn't do anything wrong. Heat of the moment. Yeah, let's get him out.
Oh wow. Well, you know what? You know, for a country that's not really soccer or football, you know, orientated, there's a lot of fans that follow the Premier League. Even like a lot of my mates that watch NFL now. You know, there's so much international sport. But Australia seems to be like pound for pound. I think we got some really good talent in our country across all sports, right?
Yeah.
So to get through to the round of 32 was great. Egypt had that Mo Salah. I missed the game, but to go to the penalty shootout, I think it's outstanding for the Socceroos. We're only going to get better. The game's going to get bigger, and
What was the one team that just lost to? Was it Argentina? Little tiny third world country, like not third world, but
Paraguay beat Germany.
Yes, Paraguay beat Germany. That was huge.
Are we still kicking on? I'm taking the studies off. I don't feel comfortable.
You don't feel comfy?
I don't feel
we can
comfy
get them off now.
because I'm not actually kicking on from anything. Mate, let's
get in the footy before we go into before we break in the Origin. Let's touch on you. I saw there was a comment. Where's our 18th man? Obviously, you were picked at 18th man.
Yeah,
but you obviously didn't get the play as well. How does that?
Yeah, it's for me, Origin is the pinnacle. Like playing for Australia was great, and it was unexpected. But Origin is the one that burns me a lot. A little bit of a backstory. So, I debuted in 2004. We won the premiership, and back in those days, City Country was a trial for Origin, like
proper lead up.
But the core of the team was already picked. It was like who can stand out in these City Country games. I remember I was at the Maroubra Bay pub. And they named the team. No one rang me, and they named the team on television. And I was sitting there, and I thought, I'm in the City side, and I've always had this imposter syndrome, right? And I just thought my life between sort of 97 to 2001 was pretty loose. Like rugby league wasn't a priority for me.
Yeah.
Until I sort of just came to a sliding door moment. Braith had a big part of that, where I thought, go back to footy. You have the ability, your life was sort of going off track, blah, blah, blah. So, I go to the Dogs. We win a premiership 2002 in reserve grade with Thurston and Sonny Bill and all these guys. 2003, 2004, I get called into the first grade squad. Start in the grand final because Steve Price goes down. We win the premiership. And then 2005, I broke my ankle in the trial in Perth against South. I came back, I played one game against the Roosters, and then I got picked in the City side. And I was shocked. I thought, what? Like, to be on the radar of selectors or whatever around that Origin sort of...
And back then, it was a big thing to be picked City Country.
Absolutely. And I think it was... Well, the utility value was very important back then. It was like Craig Wing was the 14 for New South Wales. So anyway, I get dragged into camp. And God rest his soul, Graham Murray. I'll never forget this. I'm just happy to be in the squad. And he calls a meeting. He calls me into a room, Graham and I'm like quite intimidated. I'm like already thinking why am I even in this side? But he said a few things that I won't, to me that really caught me off guard. He's like, Reni, I don't think you realise your ability, people gravitate towards you. Just really gave me some confidence and gave me some feedback that I wasn't expecting because I didn't see myself as that person. So that was huge for me to get picked in that City side. It was like my first rep team. End of 2005, I go away for the first ever Prime Minister's side, the Australian team.
Yeah.
And then 2006, I didn't want to play in the City game and I faked an injury when we went into camp. So we went into camp. Tim Sheens was the coach.
And why did you fake
Graham
injury?
Murray wasn't the New South Wales coach at that point, I don't think. 2005. So we'll have to fact check that. 2006, I went into camp. I rang up Dr. Hugh Hazard and I said, I don't want to play. Like, how do I get out of this game? He goes, just tell them you've got a bad hip or something. So I went, you do your medical. And I said, that hurts. And pulled out of the side. Tim Sheens actually knew that I faked an injury. So I kind of had a little bit of a line put through my name when it came to Origin. Graham Murray was then coach in 2007, and I can't remember. There was no City Country, but I definitely didn't get picked or didn't play. And I ended up getting called into Origin camp as 18th man. And just to see that whole experience, Luke Bailey actually got injured at captain's run, and I thought, holy shit, I might have to play here. You know, I thought I was going to get my opportunity. There were rumours back in the day, and I can't confirm this, but I was told I was actually picked in the side a couple of times, but was talked out of being selected. And there was a few politics behind it. Having said that, long story short, Origin burned me a lot, and I'm very passionate about the New South Wales jersey. The fact that I didn't get to play still hurts. It's just like, to me, that's the pinnacle. You know, I would have loved to have put the sky blue on. I remember during the warm-up of game, it might have been game 2, Braith was in the side. I refused to put the New South Wales jersey on as 18th man to warm up in. They was like, Reni, put the jersey on. I'm like, no. I ended up just like doing the warm-up in a spray jacket. I was like, no, I'm not putting the jersey on until I get in the 17. So, yeah, to me, as Origin is something that obviously I get very emotional about because it has a deeper meaning. And, yeah, it's just that one jersey I never got to wear. And, like, even, like, Jonathan Thurston, I catch up with him every now and then, and he knows it hurts. And, like, Willie Mason knows it hurts. And we've had conversations around it. And I know that a lot of my undoing or not getting selected was my undoing, you know, like little off-field dramas and just being
being young
and not, you know, understanding the privilege I had to play NRL. So it hurts, but, you know, it's something that I can't get back. And I always tell my nephews and even my niece who's playing footy now, like, if you want to be an Origin player, you need to be you got to go above and beyond. The Origin players are special, you know.
You'll be good on and
off
the
I remember
field.
sitting on the sideline of that game and just seeing the intensity and the brutality and thinking, if I'm going to be on that stage in that arena, there were things I needed to change. And yeah, unfortunately, I just never got there. Never got there, Az.
All right, well, talking about things that needed to change, what do the Blues need to change to win Game 3?
Look, I'm really optimistic and I'm really excited for this game, you know. Like, we've been in the media or as critics or critiquing New South Wales, kind of been beaten from pillar to post but warranted, right? You know, we've made some really bizarre decisions, bizarre selections, but that's all behind us now. That's in the past, right? It's a clean slate, and we are on underdogs going up there, and this could be the greatest upset in Origin history, and that's exciting. And I think it's exciting for the players. It's exciting for Laurie, and as New South Welshman, like, backs against the wall underdog.
We haven't had
mentality.
We haven't had this in a while.
Let's get up there. We haven't. Well, we had it in 24 when we won. But it's just that siege mentality. F the world. Let's go up there. Let's get it done.
I'd love to hear Laurie say we hate them.
Yeah.
We hate
look,
them.
and
Let's get up there
as
and just rip
cliche
in.
as this may sound, I want to send Laurie out a winner as well. You know,
Definitely, no.
because
I haven't stopped giving it to him, and I was the first to say it at the old studio. I asked his boss, like, he doesn't make you feel warm and fuzzy about it, but like, I was watching the doco with Gordy, and then I was watching like some of like, and you see Laurie in his prime. He was a freak. He was one of the best Blues players of all time.
I remember the story when I was young. I was such a Laurie Daly fan, and I remember I went to a city country game at the SFS. And I stood out the front. Back in those days, I don't know if you remember, you know, where the players come out and you get autographs.
At the old SFS.
At the old SFS.
At the corner,
and he was playing for country.
Yeah.
And I reckon I stayed there with Mum and Dad for at least 2 hours after the game, just waiting for Laurie Daly.
Yeah.
And I followed him from the exit down to, what's that street? You know, just where they get walked to the car park.
Yeah, they walk out through
got his autograph and pretty much told him, I play 5'8", I play centre. Like, just in awe of the guy. Like, that's how much Laurie Daly meant to me. But that's the Laurie I want to remember.
Yeah.
The coaching side of things, look, let's not even go down there anymore. I don't think enough has been spoken about with Craig Bellamy not being there beside him, because obviously Bellyache has his own health problems. So he was going to be more of his mentor and help him through this Origin camp.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, clean slate. I'm excited. Really excited. Really excited.
Let's go through. Let's start at fullback. Let's start with Teddy. I think a lot was said with Teddy getting in the way or doing probably too much at times.
Yeah.
How do you, just explain it for people that don't understand it? What do you want to see him just tweak for us to win?
Yeah, look, all he needs to do, the biggest test for us is going to be our yardage now that Brian Tortall's not in the side. Teddy has great carries out of yardage.
Yeah.
But sometimes he tends to stay in the middle of the field for too long.
Yeah.
So I want him to be there, take those carries. Like Bostock and Marky Mark, they've got a huge job. Even Critter. Critter's not known for his play twos and his play threes. He needs to get in there and get behind the ball and take those really tough carries.
Yeah.
So Teddy needs to identify that if we have momentum, he needs to fall into shape. He doesn't need to stay in the middle of the field all of the time.
Yeah.
I do like attacking from transition, so sort of around the 50-metre mark, where there could be an opportunity where Cleary or Moses just says, hey, Teddy, get out here now.
Yeah.
Just give us some shape, an extra man on the edge, just to manipulate the D a bit, just give them something to look at differently. Otherwise, because what I find when we have thrown shape at Queensland, it's been really easy to read. Therefore, their line speed has been really quick.
Correct.
And they've been able to dominate us and we can't get a quick play of the ball. So just from Teddy's perspective, yeah, you can take your yardage carries. You can be in around the ruck, but you need to know when Moses and Cleary are calling you, get into shape. Give Queensland something to look at rather than just half back rower, centre wing, right? So
everyone keeps talking about Toto and his carries. That's his job. And I think if you'd put Tubes there or whoever you put there, Bostock's going to have a lot of yardage. I know Toto does it extremely well, but I think whoever goes into those positions is going to do it. I think the thing that we've lacked for a little while is the attacking high ball and knowing that we can go either side with that high ball. Because Toto isn't really renowned for that.
No. Well, so it's an aerial threat, but the yardage carries is a little bit of a concern. He still has led, I think, most of
he does
the
lead
meters,
the stat. He always leads the stat.
post meters. But to have an aerial threat on both sides of the ball, to be able to nullify Cobbo or Fafita, and then in attacking zones, obviously, you don't get many opportunities to score off shape. Yeah. It's usually off the cuff, Harry Grant, jump out of dummy half, isolate players, tips, throw a little hand grenade out the back, second phase. But when it gets to the fifth play, you go, okay, we've got two wingers that can jump. So there's an aerial threat right there. There's points. So I understand that.
And it's making those centres and wingers, it's an extra thing they really have to think about.
Absolutely. So it's disappointing for Brian, and the way he held himself in the post-game interview.
Yeah, that was unreal. I loved it.
Outstanding. He's just been such a great player for not only Penrith, but for New South Wales,
definitely.
And just a great character, just a great person to have around camp. But I'm really happy for Bostock as well.
I think it's also good, that's just a good thing for young people to look up at when you.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what a great role model. NRL players get pulled down a lot of the time by mainstream media.
Yep.
There's a prime example of let's lift someone up because
Yeah.
how graceful was he?
Yeah, but and it's a little bit of a circuit breaker. Everyone likes to use the word circuit breaker now, but it's a different look for Queensland to have to defend, and it's a great opportunity for a kid that's playing really well for the Dolphins.
All right, so kind of what do you want to see from Bostock in his first game?
Oh, look, I just want to see his yardage carries. I just want to see him like he knows that they're going to try and get in and get under the ball. One way to sort of nullify his yardage carries, or not nullify, improve his yardage carries, is have support. So have Teddy pushing with him, having Nawangani Tawase come from the other side of the field. It's called like a pendulum.
Yeah.
So they all work well together.
Yeah.
Not just sending him one out. Just get behind the ball, make sure he's got genuine push. So they're not getting under him because he's such a big winger and driving him back. So whereas Tall will get low to the ground, get you that hip escape and get you that quick play of the ball. So Jack's got a massive task on his hand when it comes to yardage carries.
I'm looking forward to see Bradman Best back.
Bradman Best is built for Origin.
Yeah.
He's just that bulky, strong, powerful centre. He's been there before. He was in the 24 decider win up at Suncorp. He's built for Origin, you know. So I'm happy he got his opportunity. I feel, you know, Tony Staggs, look, he didn't have his best Origin series. He's very powerful, but I think his defensive lapses is what left him out of this side for game 3. And Critter coming in is known for his D. So, you know, Bradman Best deserves his opportunity, and Toya's going to have, you know, his hands full.
He's going to have his hands full. I think looking at this backline, this is the first backline I've looked at this Origin and went, ooh, I actually feel like we can really create something out of nothing.
Yep. And that's what we haven't done, is create something out of nothing. We haven't had genuine push around the ball with our forwards. Our play that we've just lost the ruck for the first 2 games. So that'll be a prime focus for Laurie and the Blues, is that, hey, everyone be in the picture, be a genuine threat, push into space, don't let anyone run one out. And I know the game's got a lot quicker, but you have to just empty the tank for this game. You got to be willing to die for the jersey.
Yeah.
When you don't feel like you can get that extra carry or genuine push, you just have to be there, because Queensland are just going to have line speed to try and dominate that ruck.
Let's skip the halves. I want to finish on the halves. So let's go to the forwards. Payne, Haas, Mitch, Barnett.
Yeah, look, Payne is Payne. You know what you're going to get from Payne. But Payne, Billy has a way of he has identified how to slow Payne down, and it's a real threat from marker. Like, they'll really chase him hard and try and chop his legs. I'd have Teddy sitting inside him, you know, so there's the marker has to kind of pause a little bit.
Just look, you can fade
just
that short ball.
1 second of just like, hang on, Teddy's there. It sort of holds up that marker, because Payne has great leg speed, and then he can get his carry in. But we still need the back rowers and our halves pushing with someone like Payne. Yeah. Barnett, I believe, will fall back to the bench.
Yeah.
I think Yowie will go up front.
Yep.
And Murray will start. But having said that, it doesn't change the whole dynamic of how we need to play. We need genuine push around our whole forward pack. We need to fight for everything on the ground. We need to get quick play of the balls. We need to get on the front foot. We're going to be in periods of the game where we're on the back foot, but to beat Queensland, we need to really quicken up our ruck.
Yeah.
Yep.
You want to quicken up. I just want to see play with like real aggression. Well, like trying out muscle.
Yeah, of course. We've been out-muscled, for sure.
I think it's that you're
sure.
going up with Seeds mentality. It's that you want to go up and bash them and FU. Like,
it'll be chaos this game.
Yeah.
There'll be aggression.
and if you remember when we won in 2024, they came out and that's how they played.
I was at that game. It was the most brutal game I'd seen.
I just got goosebumps thinking about it.
Yeah.
Like, and the hair stand up on your neck. And I remember being like, you're sitting there watching, and you're like, yeah, just into them, and it's just into them.
They were into us as well.
They were into us as well,
And we fought
and we fought,
yeah.
and then we earned the right to play footy.
That's right. And it was that, I think it was a loose ball on the ground. Luai got it to Bradman Best. He made that break. And that's just the opportunities you need to take. It wasn't a set play.
No,
Someone can fact check me on that, but I believe it was a little bit scrappy. We make the break. Bradman Best gets it to, who ended up scoring that try? Bradman might have even scored it. Anyway.
I think, yeah.
But that's the opportunities you got to seize, you know. A ball on the ground. It's not always from these big, long set sequences or plays that win you Origin games. It's fighting tooth and nail for everything.
Yeah, it was Bradman Best that scored that.
Mitch Moses scored that try as well.
And Mitch Moses scored the second one.
Yeah.
But it was like an old school Origin game because it was a war of attrition. They got up and they just bashed each other.
A war of attrition. This is what this game's going to be.
And that's what it needs to be, I think, for us to win. It's that war of attrition.
Yeah. We simplify the game. No hesitation. Take your opportunities.
And I think
complete hire.
Do you want to see them lay the platform with Reece Robson for that first maybe 25, 30 minutes and then bring Blake on?
Yeah. You got to bring we need creativity around our nine, but we need to create momentum for Brayley as well.
Correct.
Like Brayley isn't just going to come on and create momentum if we're on the back foot. If we're on the back foot, we're on the back foot. Doesn't matter if you have Robson there. It doesn't matter who's there. It's about having genuine, real push around the ball, fighting for everything. And then that gives us more of an attacking opportunity once Brayley comes on because he's got great leg speed and then he's another threat in the middle of the field. We just haven't had enough threat with the ball for Queensland to be unsettled or have a little bit of chaos in their defensive line.
So you think Cameron Murray obviously is going to start?
I hope he does.
Yeah.
I hope he does.
I love the fact that Liam Martin's back. I think
Serial killer.
And that's what you want to see him out there doing.
Well, that's what he does. That's what Liam Martin does, right? 3 games back, great kick chase, runs a great line, runs with aggression, and if he targets Munster, he's known for going after Munster. He's just go after him, right?
Yeah.
That's Liam Martin's role. Just give me 25 minutes of just absolute Liam Martin chaos. Bring the serial killer out. I want to see it, and you'll get that from him.
Yeah.
Olakuatu to come on maybe at the back end of the first half.
Yeah.
And then Munster's just going, all right, I've just dealt with this lunatic. Now I've got to deal with this 6'5" Tongan who's just been destroying anyone in front of him. Yeah. So I'm really excited to see our right edge. Obviously, what I'll quickly touch on with our right edge is that you've got a Penrith connection. So you've got Cleary, you've got Liam Martin, and then you'll have Critter on the right who know each other's games really well defensively. So you'll have a great connection there, and that'll make Marky Mark's job a lot easier to defend on the wing because someone like Critter is known for his communication, right?
Yeah.
Yes, he hasn't had a great year. Yes, he's coming in, you could say, a little bit, I wouldn't say underdone, but there's questions over his shoulder.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll try and target that. But just having that right edge gives me confidence because these guys have played so much footy together.
Yeah.
So I'm happy with that. If we move over to the left edge, we'll go with the halves now. We'll go with
Let's go.
We'll just start with Mitch Moses. I was critical of his selection. I thought after his comments, he came out to back Laurie. I get it, but then his performance against South, to his standard, was very embarrassing. Gave up. He wasn't. It was like he was protecting himself for Origin. But as a Parramatta fan, you'd be looking at it going,
"You're burning,
mate. You got burnt on your inside shoulder 2 or 3 times. You weren't willing to put your body on the line. Are you underdone? Is the hamstring okay?" So that gives me no confidence picking at 6 in Origin. That was last week. After watching that replay and doing a review of that game against South, he ain't going to do that again.
No.
You know? So when we come with our left edge, Hudson Young, another agitator, he'll go after Sam Walker. And I know he said Sam Walker goes and defends on the wing. So I would be working to our left edge and I would stay there. So if you get there on your first or second, it's called a bob set, blind, open, blind. So I would just stay at that left edge. Even if Sammy Walker is out on the wing, he still has to be...
He's still working up and back.
He still needs to work until he can get back to his 3-man spot. So you'd send one in to the 3-man, you'd go back at the 2-man, send it to 3 and 4-man, send it back into the 2-man, and then you just kick, right? So that's how you involve Sam Walker into the game defensively.
Yeah.
So you'd stay at that edge. You know, you'd be smart about it, and then it opens up the field.
Means all the men
for our right edge, right?
Means all the men around him are working double pace as well. I watched a bit of content from the 8th Immortal. He said the exact same thing because he goes, Sammy has been so dangerous in games 1 and 2. He said Bob's the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Be running a train at him, throw back to the middle, throw back.
Yeah.
And just keep working that side.
That's right. And we called it a bob set, blind, open, blind. So you just stay there, pockets of the game, and then open up the field for the right edge, especially for Ole Kawatu. You know, it's just it makes Sammy Walker accountable defensively and pick up his defensive work rate. You know, make him make 15, 20, 25 tackles. I would do the same for Munster.
Yeah.
If you're getting joy at that edge, stay there. Open up the field for your left edge.
Yeah.
So that's one way I'd be attacking Queensland for sure. Bench rotation?
Yes.
What do you reckon? So you've got...
I think...
Let's just go with... Brayley will definitely get on. Ola Kawatu will definitely get on.
I'd bring them both on at the same time, just about.
Yeah, that's a good call, that.
Because...
That's given there's no injuries, right?
Given there's no injuries and the game's gone for 25 minutes, they've bashed each other for 25 minutes, and hopefully you're starting to win that arm wrestle, or even if it's somewhat level.
Yep.
I'm bringing him on. Even if Robson's still looking okay, I'm bringing him on.
Yeah.
Just to go, all right, we're fresh. Get Robson off.
Yep.
Get, what's his, the serial killer off, Liam Martin. or Hudson, whoever you bring. Which side is it?
No, right edge.
Yeah,
so you
right
bring
edge.
Liam Martin
You bring
off.
Liam Martin and Olakawatu, and you just want Olakawatu, and off the back of Olakawatu, you just see Blake Brayley start running the ball and creating opportunity.
Yep, definitely.
And let that creativity and then get an early ball out to our centres.
Go up to the to our bench.
Our bench.
So I definitely think Olakawatu gets on.
Sorry.
Brayley gets on.
Yeah.
Now my question marks is if AFB will get on, depending on Yowie, Payne, Haas, Cameron Murray, and how big a minutes they can play.
Yeah.
Because I want that strike off the bench in keeping that interchange ticker up your sleeve, like Olakawatu, your Brayley, Ethan Strange. I'm devastated for him. Let's just presume he's playing. I know he'll do a fitness test tomorrow, or tomorrow's captain's run. If he gets through today, let's just say he is playing, I would bring him on as maybe a 13 at some point.
Oh, you would?
But I wouldn't defend him in the middle.
No.
I would probably put, if Liam Martin's still on the field, I'd put him in the middle and just have him play right edge, but Ethan Strange defend at 4-man, or Hudson Young, put him in the middle to defend and let Ethan Strange defend at 4-man.
Yeah.
It's a washing machine in that middle. It is very... Once you are under fatigue, and especially at origin level, your mind is just all over the place. So communication comes into play there. You know, your marker defense, your A defense, your movements. It's something he's not used to. So being a 3-man and a 4-man, he'd understand edge defense. So that's all. That's the only thing I would do. He needs to get on the field at some point. I'd just defend him as a 4-man. The other one I'd say that'll get on, you've got Ethan Strange, you've got Brayley, you've got Olakawatu.
That's it.
Well, who would be another person you can bring off the bench? Because you got 4 out of the 19, right?
Yeah, well, Murray's already on, so Yoey's went.
Barnett.
Oh, Barnett.
Barnett's the other one. So I think Barnett, if he goes back to the bench, it'll be Barnett, Olakawatu, Brayley, and Strange that'll get on the field. That would be my bench rotation, given there's no injuries, because I think AFB's great, don't get me wrong, and can get us momentum, but I just see more strike, more opportunity with the smaller interchange. The interchange that I basically just mentioned.
Okay. Let's talk about the two-headed threat. Who do they need to shut down? What do we need to do?
Basically, I think the main thing for us is to shut down Cobbo as well.
Yeah.
I'd be kicking to him. I don't want him having played 2 carries, but you've got to have the perfect kick chase. It has to be like, all right, let's just put the ball up, because he's been in such great form, but he does have an error in him.
Yeah.
So if you're going to put it into his corner, it has to be the perfect kick chase all game.
The last thing you want to do is
to be, you have to win. You got to win the first 3, the first 4 tackles in their yardage.
And just bash him early.
Just to get into him, because he's what's getting Queensland sets started.
Yeah.
And then it gives time for Walker, gives time for Munster. And then you got threats like the Hammer, Toya. There's just Kalen Ponga.
Ugh.
There's just, I'd be kicking away from Kalen. I'd be putting it into the corners.
Yeah,
and making sure that we really do a job on their wingers. Kalen gets the ball. That's even more important for our kick chase. So just nullifying and really getting stuck into them in their yardage sets it's vital for us to win this game, because Cobbo, you could have an argument for Cobbo if they win this game and he has another big game, he'll get the Wally Lewis Medal. Like Sam Walker's there, but Cobbo, he's been unbelievable.
Unbelievable. How do you shut down Harry Grant?
Harry Grant, he's our biggest threat because he touches the ball the most.
Yeah.
You know, Sam Walker, Munster. Munster is in the same conversation as Wally Lewis when it comes to Origin. Harry Grant will be in the same conversation as Cameron Smith. He knows how to control the game. Our market to D is just so important, so important. I would try and send as much traffic at him as possible as well, you know, just to try and get a bit of fatigue out of him.
Yeah.
He can defend, don't get me wrong, but this is Origin.
Yeah.
It's like Payne, Yoey, you know, Cam Murray.
Let's make him tired so he's not taking as many carries.
Yeah, look, if we're coming out of yardage and we get a bit of momentum, like let's just send traffic towards him, so he's working, just trying to take that threat away from his attacking ability. But Harry Grant's special, and you look across that whole Queensland side, they got threat everywhere. But what it comes down to, right, is we need a quick, complete high. We need genuine push in our attack.
Yeah.
We need to target Sam Walker and Munster with their bobsets, get in their face, and we've got to be aggressive. I don't know what the big trick play is. We've got the aerial threat on the edges, and Cleary. This needs to be a Cleary team, right? And I know it might not sit well with Moses, but I don't want them to share the workload. I want Cleary touching the ball as much as possible on both sides of the ruck. I don't want him sticking to the right. I just need him to dictate this team, be the main kicker. Moses, you're there, but your first threat is run.
Yeah.
And get your defence right.
You want him to play like a genuine 5'8".
Just get your defence right. But from a tactical point of view, they're the ones that I've just highlighted. That you just got to.
Do you think we'll see Reece Walsh on the field?
If they need points, yeah, possibly. If we can get to a good lead and things aren't working for them, Reece Walsh could potentially get on the field. I don't know where. He'd be definitely a target if you put him in the middle. But it's a psychological advantage they have because you've got to plan for Reece Walsh, even though he might not get on the field. Yeah. He's in the 19, but you got to have a plan for him as well. So I'm not too sure. Look,
Billy has plans on plans on plans.
Yeah, he's methodical. He's so methodical with everything he does. I'll tell you a story about Billy Slater. I had an opportunity to sit with him one day and just pick his brain a little bit about footy, and I couldn't believe the detail that he was talking about and how much he watches, how many different angles he watches. He speaks to his players, what they need to improve on. We played Melbourne, down in Melbourne, 2013. I was playing for Parramatta.
Yeah.
I think they were beating us by 30-plus points at halftime. Billy Slater and Cooper Cronk were having an argument on the way at halftime, on the way to the sheds, about a play. Like, that's how their brains work.
Yeah.
That's how much they think about the game. They are so methodical. It's almost like this OCD of like what lines to run. You didn't pass it properly. You didn't get to this point. Like, that's how he operates.
Yeah.
And that's how this Queensland side has won, 3 of the last 4 series, because Billy is he's a footy head.
Just thinks about everything.
He thinks about every scenario, right? The whole Reece Walsh thing, maybe getting on the field and then putting Plath in. Like, he's to be able to think on the fly and understand the flow of a game, right? Not just go, who have I got on the bench? Just throw him in. He just knows every scenario. If we're in this part of the field, this player goes down. And you got to give his support staff a rap as well. Yeah, they do their homework. And I'm not saying New South Wales don't do their homework. I just feel like we're getting out-coached, though, when it comes to scenarios, sequences, how to play, starting lineups, interchange. We've been out-coached, So I couldn't – there's no perfect scenario to beat Queensland because they're so good. I feel like the fact that they're favourites, the biggest task for Billy in this game is to make sure they're not just turning up and thinking we've got this series wrapped up.
We've got this series, yeah.
Because they're sitting back, smoking their cigars, thinking we've got this.
Well, really, it shouldn't be a decider. If it was 13 on 13,
Of course.
We're
But
here.
We're here.
We're here now. We have the opportunity.
Clean slate.
If you look at it, we started favourite in both of those games. Now, arguably, I think the prices, in my opinion, were wrong, and obviously we've seen that, like retrospectively. Obviously, that was correct.
Yep.
But I want to back us here.
How can you not back us?
I just think you have to. I think this is the best attacking team we've put together. I think defensively we're now stronger as well. I just think this is the best 1-13. As long as Cameron Murray starts at 13, this is the best 1-13 we've put together this series.
I think it doesn't look. It's been spoken about. It doesn't matter who plays in this game. We always pick a strong team.
Yeah.
You have to be willing to die for that jersey.
Yeah.
Right, and that's it. And this is what excites me. It's the siege mentality. It's backs against the wall. No one expects us to win. The amount of publicity that New South Wales have had around their selections, and it's a clean slate. And this is what keeps me optimistic about us winning this game. So, hey, I for some reason I'm just quietly confident. Quietly confident. I like the fact that
we're underdogs.
We're the underdogs.
Yeah, I like that we're underdogs.
I feel an ambush coming. I really do.
All right, what's your prediction?
Mate, it's gonna be a belter. This game, it's like this game will go down in history, and I think we'll win. Very close game. I've got Bostock scoring the winning try.
Bostock scoring the winning try.
In the last 5 minutes, kick to his corner, jumps over the top of who's he got, Cobbo. And we get the win.
Yeah,
we get the win.
I'm going Blues 16-14.
We extend Laurie for another 5 years. No, look, we send Loz out a winner. Everything's forgotten, egg on our faces, all these critics.
Yeah, all the critics.
We are lucky. We are very, very lucky to be going into a decider. So, mate, we're getting this fucking job done.
Yeah,
I saw Boydie Cordner last week of that.
Yes, we played
in that charity thing.
Yeah, is this the one you threw the intercept in?
Yeah, that's
my man Reni Kamali.
Yeah. I think I was
You almost took one off me.
I had about 5 try assists and 2 of them for the opposite team for 2 intercepts. But I said, I looked at Boydie. I said, just go up there. Not that he fucking cares what I say, but I just said, go up there and fucking ambush these guys. It's going to be a very tough task. But I just love this siege mentality.
Can I say one thing about Boydie? I don't know, as a friend, how good are his hands? His spiral balls and that for a forward.
Hey, what about mine, mate? The amount of touches I had, fucking hell. And I had all the girls on my side.
Do you know what I loved about? I loved it. What about Anasta for the first try? I had to get first try.
Anasta, did he score first?
He scored first, and then
I thought, mate, slow down.
Slow down. But do you know what was the best?
He popped his hamstring.
Yeah, he did. He popped his hamstring.
Idiot.
You know what was the best? As soon as you threw that intercept,
he loved it.
Yeah, but you switched on, and I think you set up next. It was the competitiveness. Exactly, I know. And I was giving it to you from the other side, but it was so funny. I just watched your mind tick over, and the competitiveness come out. And you're like, I need to score next. I need to score next.
I wasn't losing that game. I've been competing against Brace since I was 5. So we got the one up on that anyway.
All right. Why don't we move to last week's footy? Look at a few of the results.
Yep.
We'll kick off.
Quickly. Let's just flick through them quickly, yeah?
I thought this was the moral of the round. 36-14 Penrith.
Yeah.
They weren't going to lose 3 in a row.
Yeah, Penrith, they've just got the conveyor belt. I thought Lindsay Smith was outstanding at 13. He's the future 13 of that team. Milky Jenkins, far out. He's unbelievable. He's such a good finisher. He'll play Origin soon. South.
What did you make of Blaze Talangi? Where are you at?
I liked him at centre. Even though he was named at 6, I thought he was outstanding. His running game was great.
Yeah.
Who played in the halves? It would have been Jack
Cole
and
Cogger.
And Cogger, you know. They did a job. So
Also, just on Jay, it goes to show that Penrith system, every time Jack Cogger plays at 7 in that Penrith side, he looks like a star.
You look at let's look at probably the top. I'll give you the top 4 or 5 teams right now. So you've got Penrith, Dolphins, Warriors, Newcastle have gone into the 4th.
Roosters are in 3rd here, ladders there. So Panthers, then goes Warriors, Chooks.
Let's just
Knights.
Let's just talk about those 3 teams: Penrith, Warriors, and Dolphins. They play within a system that works, right? So if Katoa's out, Schneider comes in, and he's role is he's got his role.
Yeah,
it's not like you're at halfback. You need to create. You need to change anything up. They still get their wins. When Cleary's out, Penrith, their system, they bring in Cogger. They can still win without Cleary. Not saying that Cleary isn't a great. They fall into the system. Warriors, you went from Metcalf, ACL, playing unbelievable. Go to Tanner Boyd, ACL. Now you got Tamari Martin, play within a system. They've got a system that works. That means they're very, very well coached. Like, you can talk about the Roosters, very erratic with the way they play, completions, they're up, down. But they're
starting to build their system.
Those 3 teams in particular, for mine, I might be thinking of, even Knights to some capacity, but those 3 teams.
Well, we look at the Knights. The Knights played without 2 of their biggest players for almost half the season.
Yeah.
With Ponga out and then at times Brown out. And they were winning a lot of those games.
Yeah. So very well coached.
Very
well coached teams that don't need to. You just, if they're missing a half or a spine player, it's just, hey, nothing changes. You just play this role. These are our game plans. Don't try and go on above and beyond and do too much. So, Penrith obviously still had a very strong side.
Oh, definitely. I tell you, he's gone enormous this year. Freddie Lassie.
Freddie Lassie's been great. I'm glad he's gone to the Dogs. Just quickly, the try, right?
Yeah, I've got it here.
Let's talk about that. I don't know what the answer is with the bunker. I do not know what the answer is, but that, I would say, is the worst double movement try that I've ever seen being allowed. Now, I know you've got the play up here and people can't see it. You've got, who's the
Jack
AT?
Cole.
You got Jack Cole sweeping out the back of, is that Liam Henry?
Yeah.
He catches it on the inside of Sorensen. Sorensen's running a lead, right? That there is illegal. Then plays goes on. Penalty there anyway. Talangi gets it over to Milky. He's got work to do. He's tackled. I can't fathom for the life of me that when you watch it in fast motion, you go, still no try. You slow it down frame by frame, and the commentators didn't even sort of pick up on it and say, all they talked about was, did he get the ball down? Did he lose control? Like, we all know it's a double movement, right? It's probably one of the worst I've ever seen. He's held there, reaches out, puts the ball down. What's the answer? Who's accountable for this?
Has to be an investigation.
Well, it's pathetic. It's embarrassing to our game, and it's like, I don't know. It's just everyone has their opinion on the bunker, but that one there,
I'll ask you a question.
I just can't wrap my head around it.
How can a bloke who's never played NRL be having 4 cold ones, watch that and get the decision right from his couch, yet the people that are paid to make the decision with all of that,
all the technology,
but not all the they're watching essentially the same thing as us plus more.
Yep.
How can everyone on the couch sit there and go it's a double movement? How can they get it right? Yet the people that are paid to do it get it wrong.
It's a high pressure situation, right? And again, there needs to be an overhaul, and I don't know what it is.
But I
don't know if it's ex-players, referees, are they doing too much, the frame by frame. But like I said, you peel back that play from the dummy half, Cole, like it's a no try from there when Cole catches it on the inside of Sorensen on a sweep play. He needs to be on the outside of Sorensen, right? So, like, there's, like, what's the word? A plethora of, like, mistakes or decisions in that try alone. So, I know it's going to get absolutely hammered probably tonight on 360 and every talk back, and it has over the weekend.
How do you fix it?
I don't know. I don't know how to fix these bunkers.
Maybe we just need 10 drunk guys on the couch because they seem to get it right.
Yeah.
We'll just give them.
I'm like, are you watching like replays off a Nokia 3210? Like that.
Yeah.
You can't see 4K bloody replays. It's just, look, I don't want to harp on too much about it. Yeah, high pressure situations, blah blah blah. That's what you're paid to do. Get that right. That's probably the worst try given for a double movement I have ever seen. Ever.
Let's touch on next one. Brace predicted it. He goes, the way to beat South, get him frustrated.
Get Cody Walker frustrated.
Get Cody frustrated.
Brace,
I love Codes.
I love Codes. Codes my boy.
He's a legend.
But Brace said it,
yeah.
And it's right. I think he's given away 3 or 4 penalties with the ball this year. I think he did one in a trial as well.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I get that you're passionate and you're competitive. But what was that? He just like a little, like, you wanted to kick him harder, but it was just like, hang on. Like,
is he becoming a grumpy old man?
He's a grumpy old man.
But you know what? He's going to be like Clint Eastwood, I reckon. He's going to be sitting out there.
I think Cody
Get off my lawn.
I think Cody thinks he's playing in the knockout sometimes.
I love it.
What are you doing, bro?
But, and it's the best. You can see him out afterwards and he's like let go. But when he's in that heat of the moment, he is so passionate. But it's getting to his detriment at times.
I know he's very apologetic. And again, but mate, come on. You just took a try off that kid on debut. How good was he?
Oh.
Bring up that winger, the South kid.
What's that?
Team list. Mate, his carries strong. I think he just came straight from SG Ball. So Dane Jennings, mate, what a future that kid has. He is really, really good. Really good. The Milky situation, the kick from Cody, I don't know if it changes the result. But yeah, Penrith too good.
Yeah, they were too good. Definitely too good. Our man JC got his second win with the Dragons.
Yeah, look, again, I didn't catch all of this game. Good for the Dragons. You know, it's disappointing for Benji. He won't be too happy with that. But I think they moved Val Holmes to the wing, didn't they?
Yes, they moved Val to the wing. I want to talk about that. Talk about Val to the wing. What does that change in his game? Like, what does it do?
He has to get involved more. Way more carries. He's so strong with the ball. Very good carrier of the ball. Defensively, I think the last 2 or 3 years he's been very, very up and down. More down than up, and giving him more responsibility to carry the ball out of yardage, finish tries. That's probably at his age now. Not that he's like coming to the end of his career. I think that's where you keep him from now.
Yeah.
Because it just, sometimes you just have to put people in positions to get involved more. And wingers are an extra front rower now. So, no, it was good to see the Dragons get another win. Disappointing for Benji.
Well, I'll tell you one thing I want to give massive credit to is the Dragons fan base. Like, You go here, this is only their second win. Mate, there is white and red everywhere. And you see them in every game. They are like, they butter up week in, week out.
Yeah, absolutely.
I want to give big credit to the fan. And that's what true fans do. You got to give big credit to them because it would be so hard to watch the season that they've had between some horrific games, but then also copping some howlers as well from refs and things like that.
That's good. I think they've broken the record now for the least amount of wins was one.
What was it, one and a draw?
One and a draw. So they got the 2 wins. They got the Bronx and they got the Tigers. I think they'll get a couple more.
Yeah.
They'll get a couple more.
They're off to Bali now this week. Let's stay there for a second though. Tigers. Are we starting to see them revert back to old Tigers? I know they didn't have Luai, but I'll tell you one that I do want to touch on as a positive. Dewey was unbelievable.
Dewey was good. Look, it comes with experience. Like these seasons are so long. They don't have a really experienced side.
No, they don't.
You know, and it all comes up to the mental side of things. When you get to this period of the season, when you're coming into round 20, the back end, it's usually these rounds from about 16 to 22 is like, it's like 6 rounds of mentally you got to be strong and resilient because your body's sore, you're carrying injury, every game's hard.
Yeah.
And then you kind of get a little bit of a boost when you're like, semi-finals are coming just around the corner. That's how I found it anyway. You went through like a bit of a lull period through sort of rounds 15 to like 22.
Yeah.
And that's where you got to fight hard, especially if you're not in the 8. You know, it's like these are the games where you really got to be on. You got to be mentally prepared. Everyone's physically prepared, but everyone's carrying niggles, injuries. They're starting to get tired. It's been a long preseason. You're under a bit of pressure, and I feel like Tigers, through lack of experience, are starting to revert back into their old habits.
Yeah.
It's more of a mental challenge for Benji now.
Talking about mental challenges, let's go to the Brisbane game, 28-16, beat by the Sharks.
That's a great segue, that.
And I want to go direct. I know, and it's not been harsh, but like everyone's talking about the effort of Shibasaki.
It was bad, really bad. And he hasn't re-signed, has he? Is he going somewhere else? I know he's demanding a lot of money. Anyway, just the Broncos in general. I know I copped a lot of shit at the start of the year for predicting that they would
slide.
You
didn't think this far, but
yeah. Look, there was only one way they could go.
Yeah,
and I was confident that they weren't going to make the 4. Purely off history of a Madge side, and I'm not. I think to be a Madge player, to be in a Madge system, he needs Madge style of players. Yeah. And I just think there's too many players that within that group that take the workload, the criticism, the intensity. It's not built for them and the type of player they are. And you're seeing the effects of it now. I know they've had a lot of injury. They're still a great side and they've still had great players in their team, but I think they've mentally checked out now. And I had them still making the 8, but now after how many have they lost in a row? 7, 8 in a row. They've tapped out.
They're gone. They're not making
purely
the 8.
through their desire and lack of effort. And, you know, Shibasaki, you can see that 1 or 2 incidents on the weekend. It's just like they just want the season to be over.
They do. And we both spoke about it, and I was in agreement with you around the Madge second season thing, and because I was very close to a lot of the South boys that were part of that, and
that's how I know
champion, and that's how we knew.
That's how I knew. That's how we knew. I predicted that.
Correct. We had that. We both had that inside knowledge and feeling, and listening to all of what happened. The other thing was, if you go back and look at their season from last year, it was a year of perfection. It was 10 or 12 weeks of just about perfection, where everything went right. And
Reece Walsh.
And Reece Walsh just you know what I mean?
They didn't have a great season.
They didn't have a great season.
Yeah,
they
really turned it on.
And that's what you tipped them as your roughies at $8. They got out to $26 in the run throughout the year. Mate, they're 370 to win and should be probably bigger. Like, I don't think they're making the finals. They are dejected. For them just to finish off the year, you kind of just want to see them kind of return the form, don't you?
Well, yeah. Look, you want to see something. I don't want to see Madge under pressure. They don't need a new coach.
Which is, and this is what everyone's going, it's crazy, but like...
They don't need a new coach. Like, Madge knows how to win competitions. He's won
2 now.
Wigan, New Zealand, Origin, South, Brisbane. But sometimes, like, I call them hit and run coaches, right? They come in for 3-4 years, win you a premiership. Either you change the whole roster or you get rid of the coach.
Yeah.
So he's that kind of coach.
Yeah.
He's a hit and run coach. It's not sustainable to play under Madge, from what I've heard.
Yeah.
Because of the intensity for your whole career. There's only certain kinds of players that can do it. And you need good leaders. You need strong leaders under a Madge style of coaching. Like just for example, like if you had Madge coaching Penrith, you've got Yo, Leota, Mitch Kenny, Cleary. You've got those older statesmen, those older heads in the team that can keep everyone else in check. Whereas Brisbane, I just feel like their leadership is a little bit too young. And when things get ugly and things get hard, it stays hard.
Yeah.
There's just, outside of their class, I don't think mentally they can completely switch their whole focus. I think their focus has been too much on, for fuck's sake, we're doing this again, another wrestle, we're training this hard.
Yeah.
I think there's too much of that within the squad, and that's where I believe that their desire and their want is dissipated.
I think they need a Reni lock-in session, maybe just get the morale back.
Hey, I'm available.
I'm available. Get him up here.
I'm available, Brisbane boys, for a kick on.
A kick on at the Caxton.
Kick on.
I want to touch on the Para Manly game. Good from that. Good to mate. Ronald Volkman, notable mention.
Yeah, play ball.
He's playing well.
Play ball.
Jonah Pezzett, little grubber for himself.
It was play one.
Yeah, it was good.
Play one. Yeah. That's backing yourself, right? Everyone last week was talking about Rolls and Parramatta having a disappointing year. I'm like, man, does everyone realise how many players have missed and injuries? And not only that, I love the way Parramatta have played. I've said it all year. I love their style of play. I love the long pass from 9 to their 7. They open up the field. They play expansive footy. What they're not good at is defending errors, and they have far too many errors in them.
Yeah.
To be able to play that style of play that Rolesey's coaching,
yeah,
you need to be able to defend your errors. And that's where they're not mentally resilient enough yet. So, look, to play against, like, there's good history between these two clubs from back in the day.
Yeah.
Para Manly. Manly, full strength.
Oh,
Joey Walsh.
Well, not Olakau'atu.
Olakau'atu, there you go. Joey Walsh.
And Cooler.
Joey Walsh is showing like he's got that bit of class about him.
Yep.
But
he's going to take time.
But he's very confident kid.
Oh, extremely.
I was just thinking it was just to watch, especially for Jonah to come in. They just look like it's just good to get a bounce back from them and keep that same style of play. It's exciting. If you watch them closely and you're not a Parramatta supporter, have a look at the way they shift and play expensive.
Well, we said that, and that's how they beat the Dogs in that game. They were shifting the ball. Were straight away.
Well, they hit their back rows a lot.
Hit their back rows.
Right, and just getting the ball to the edge quickly. The long pass from 9 to their 7s that already cut out 2 or 3 defenders. I love that. I love their style. And they're not afraid to shift the ball in yardage or transition to move defence around. It's just the errors that have let them down this year.
And then the last game that we had finished 13-12. The Knights just got the job done. It was I found it a good game to watch.
Yeah. Fletcher Sharp, man.
Wow.
Fletcher Hunt, McEwen, Dylan Brown, it was a great win. You know, I thought they nearly stuffed up that last 5 minutes with the field goal. You know, Dylan Brown stepped up and ended up getting the field goal. I thought they could have taken it maybe a play earlier.
Yeah.
Sandon Smith, if I was Holbrook this week, I'd pull him in and say, mate, you're overplaying your hand a little bit too much.
Yeah.
He was trying to play late sweeps on both sides of the ruck. He was like, they were falling out of structure. He was overplaying his hand. His last tackle options weren't great. His kicks, and that kind of kept the Dolphins in the game. So Sandon Smith needed just to, just settle a little bit. Let Dylan Brown run the team a bit more. You were just trying to, when you're in those grinding games, like less is more, right? I just felt like he kept Dolphins in the game a bit longer. But having said that, Dolphins are missing Cobbo, Hammer, Katoa, Flegler. Who else? Missing so many players.
Yep.
And they're still managing to, with all missing Ponga, I get that. But at Newcastle, to lose by 1 point.
Dolphins are starting to play. Yeah.
I wouldn't be like, Wolfie would be going, I'm pretty proud of that effort, right?
Definitely.
There were definitely
starting to show that they've got depth now as well.
More areas of the game. But I definitely felt like Penrith. I felt like the Knights kept them in the game a bit too long. They could have iced it, finished them off. I just felt like Sandon overplayed his hand a little bit too much in the back end of that game.
They should have shut down the game.
They should have shut them out.
As you just said, they were the Dolphins. It's great to see that they now have got the depth, because I think they were a team that at times when they had their starting 13, they were dangerous, where now they're actually a team that's got depth.
They've just got depth, and they've well coached, and they've got great balance. And when I say balance, I mean you've got hard-nosed defenders and you've got strike, right? And that's why they will challenge for the premiership if Katoa comes back, hopefully by, I think, about round 20. Broken wrist. He'll get back before the semis. But they're a genuine threat.
All right, let's move on to this. This week, we're just going to go through a couple of comments.
What do you got for me?
Make sure, write in any comments, any questions you have, especially for Ren.
Yeah, because this is our first show. So, we're just going to play around with things and, see what works.
And then we'll go, and you can write your comments, whether it's a 180 or this. But, yeah, definitely write your comments on this show, and we will come back to you with some questions and some answers to some of the comments.
What have you got for us?
Here's a little funny one to start from the great, I believe, however he's written his name. Boo, no Reni, Emre and Astagula will have to do.
Good. Emre Gula. He'd hate that.
He would hate that, the Bob.
He would hate that. He thinks he's God's gift, old Braithy boy.
They do miss you when you're not here, Ren, so they're going to love you, mate.
No, look, for those who don't know, Mum was sick in hospital. She's all good. So I had to miss that episode. I was looking forward to doing that episode with Jakey Friend. Old Edward Scissorhands just moving his arms around the whole episode.
There was a few comments. Yeah. It was funny because obviously sat here, he was in your chair, and we both know Jake real well. He's got such an amazing footy brain, and you get to see, because he doesn't do a lot of content. And I don't think he was overly nervous. Even he said, when you first do it at the start, you're trying to, and he's obviously next to Braves, and Braves so good to get him relaxed. But yeah, as soon as he floated in the show, just getting his mind to open up. And one thing he said, he goes, that show's a bit different. He goes, I'd love to get in and just break down footy and break down plays. So we'll get him on.
We'll get him on every now and then. We'll just tape his arms to the armchair.
Here's a comment. This is from AK Lucy. The crux of the comment was Teddy needs his wingers to take the ball back. He's best attacking footballer around the ruck and supporting through the rinnle, generating ruck speed from Robson and Mitch. You want to touch on it?
Yeah, he's right. It's a great comment, but you can't leave. Like, Teddy needs to be there for those yardage carries. The wingers are going to have a massive job. Our centres are going to have our back five, right, really need to get us on the front foot. If you watch Cowboys, the way they attack in yardage after a kick, they throw, that's how I'd like to see New South Wales try and come out of yardage. It's like someone gets the ball, Drinky usually will pass it 20 metres over to Purdue or Chester, and then they'll all of a sudden the defensive line is accountable. Usually it's like one side of the field is chasing harder, but then Drinky will throw a 20-metre pass, and then it's the other side of the ruck go, oh, shit, get on our bike, let's get down there with the straight line. Yeah, I agree with that. I want to see our wingers do have a big job. I just want Teddy to fall into place, into shape more often and not just stand around the middle of the ruck, depending on the weather as well. If there's a little bit of rain, it's a bit wet, then he will stay through the middle a little bit more. But I like that comment. I think that Teddy needs to get into shape and give his back rowers, his halves, more of a threat in shape to be able to attack.
Yeah. And then we'll go with this comment. I like this one because it's, I think, depending on what happens in game three, it's highly relevant. Well, for moving forward, Channel Master 73, I'm thinking of the future, backline and spine, and goes, well, I'll touch on the forwards later. Fullback, Weeks, wing, Jenkins, centre, McLean, centre, Savala, wing, Bostock, 5'8", Strange, halfback, Katoa, hooker, Brayley, and lock, Galvin.
That's the future. That's 5 years down the track. A few of those guys will get an opportunity.
Obviously, Savala and Galvin got called in as for extended just to get some experience.
Yeah, it's just be around the squad. Yeah. See what Origin's about. It's not about when Queensland went on that 8 in a row. Wayne might have been the coach. He's 6. Someone will correct me, but he gave, I think, Lockyer, Petro, all the older players in that Queensland side, he said, if you guys don't win this series, you guys are out. We're going to change everything up. We definitely tend to pick on, what's the word? We pick on reputation, right?
Reputation over.
Whereas Queensland will pick, no one expected Nate Miles to be the greatest Queensland back rower.
Yeah.
He's got so many Queensland players or whatever it is. No one expected Greg Inglis to get picked when he did, when he was 18 or 19, even though he's from New South Wales.
Even Gagai at times.
It's just these young, but they Queensland have always backed picking a rookie. I think, someone like Mitch Moses is getting a little bit long in the tooth. He's still got a few years ahead of him.
So it's interesting you say that. Yeah. I want to flip that. Yes, you say he's got long. Joe's got long in the tooth for me, and they Cleary, and I could be, and a lot of people will disagree with it. He is yet to stamp his authority on anything outside of Penrith just yet. And the way I look at it is, I think Cutto's a freak. And as you said, that's 5 years. It also could, I would almost, if we don't win, Fuck, I'd almost want him in the side. Katoa next.
He'll be in the team. I would definitely have him in the 19 next year for sure. Like these guys that, like Teddy, probably maybe his last Origin.
Yeah.
Edwards, he's getting into his 30s, so you got Drinkwater there. You've got KO Weeks. This is 2 or 3 years down the track. Strange will be the 6 eventually, right? Eventually. There's exciting players coming. You wouldn't throw 4 of them in straight away, but you know
Queensland would.
They'll start. Yeah, they would. We have some great young talent coming through for the Blues. They will get bled in a bit slowly, but I see, and Queensland do as well. But I think the future looks bright for New South Wales in key positions. I think we've got some great Brayley, Katoa, Strange, KO Weeks, Drinky, like the guys that are young in our spine. We've got some good talent coming through. So 2, 3, maybe 4 years down the track, that's who the spine will be.
Well, that's going to be a wrap for the comments. So remember, make sure you comment. Soon will be an app. You'll be able to put comments in there as well. You mentioned something before. You had something to tell me about Dad.
Oh, Dad. Oh, okay. So we wanted to do a Danny's diary. So my old man, Danny. So every week I'll try and tell a dad story, and
with a notable mention of Uncle Scruff.
Uncle Scruff. But this is just for the Polynesians out there that can relate. So, yeah, I'll tell a dad story every week. Any Polynesians that listen to our stories, listen to this podcast, send us in your story about, because there's some funny stories. But remember I told the story about King's Cross?
Yes.
So Dad used to leave me with the prostitutes while he'd go play Space Invaders. He just loves Space Invaders. Never drank a beer in his life. Never. Musician. Would come home late. I was born up at the Cross. He'd take me back up the Cross. If I was crying, give Mum a break, and then give me to the prostitutes to look after me and go and play Space Invaders. I've told that story probably a couple of years ago now. I'll tell a boost juice story. So Dad, Dad loved to go to East Gardens, and he'd just do laps and laps. And I've had people come up to me I've never met going, I know this story about your dad. Like, it just like, so he used to call my mum, right? And he'd always do Mum's head in. Anyway, he goes to East Gardens and he rings Mum and he goes, oh, Mum, this lady, she called my name and she gave me a drink. And she's like, Danny, what are you talking about? And he goes, all I heard is this name, Danny. And she gave me the drink. And she goes, well, what do you mean? Like, someone just gave you a drink? He's like, yeah, the Tropical Crush, I think it's called. And she's like, and Mum was just screaming at him down the phone. So basically, he's gone past Boost Juice. Someone named Danny has ordered a drink, and he thought it meant it was him. He's grabbed someone's Tropical Crush.
He's got him for an innocent.
Cruised off, and this lady, you hear some lady in the background speak, saying, excuse me, is your name Danny? And he's like, yeah. And she goes, oh, did you order that drink? And he's like, no, but you called my name. He goes, I get angry. And he goes, Mum, I was thinking to myself, how do they know I'm thirsty? So he's just, Dad, like, it's just, how did they know I was thirsty? How do they know I'm thirsty? So that's one of I'll tell a story every week. So that's one of Dad's Boost Shoe stories at East Gardens, but there's plenty more to come. Dad's one of a kind. I'll tell a Scruff story, but yeah, any Polynesians, I know there's plenty of stories out there. Like, if you've got a story, share it with us, and I actually want to get like a phone line
Yeah.
Somehow where someone could ring up and tell their story. I don't know how we could do that. And we could just play it over the microphone. Maybe if we get a burner phone and you can leave a voicemail and then we could play your story over. But like there's an extended version of that story, but the short version is Dad went past Boost Juice and took someone else's drink.
I actually hadn't had a boost for years, and when I was doing the move, I was like going up to Bondi Westfield, and then I used to get strawberry squeeze.
Yeah.
I went 3 days in a row. They're bloody addictive.
But he's just, how did they not him thirsty?
You'd love to be plugged into his mind.
The amount of people over the years, this story is like 10, maybe 15 years old, but I remember people used to come up to me going, I don't know you, but I know your dad's Boost Juice story. They all think it's a classic. So, yeah, every week I'll tell a dad story. So that's the first one for the Monday kick on. So that's it, Az?
That's it. Next week we'll be filming from the Coogee pad. No, I'm joking.
Yeah. We'll be filming from the courthouse.
Yeah, we're going to do a special episode at the studio, and we'll do it.
We'll see you Wednesday. Oh, no, Thursday.
So we've got the Orange. Go the Blues. Go our man Loz. Send him out a champion.
Let's go.
You win some, you lose more. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.